Hello everyone, I am Brandon Bonedorfer and you are on Focus, and today I have an exciting story for you. You probably already heard about it, but today we're going to sit down with Kendra and Kevin Schmidtke and learn about their trip to Nebraska as they brought relief to so many farmers and so many in need. I guess I'm going to start with the real question everybody asks is, how did you come up with this idea and what made you want to get involved?
Basically just seeing pictures on Facebook. It was just devastating, and it touched my heart. I grew up on a farm, and so I've seen struggles, and we had extra hay in our shed from when we had horses and beef cattle, which we no longer have. And I asked him, I said, what do you think about donating some of the hay, and kind of left it at that.
And when you said some of the farmers and some of those struggles, a lot of those images we saw online, I mean, at one point I saw farmers trying to dig their cattle out of snow, and then like that, they're flooding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was from one to the other. So you told them that, you kind of wanted to do this, and, what was your thoughts on that?
We were talking. She's like, I want to haul some hay to Nebraska. I said, okay, boss, tell me what you want. And our son was sitting in the kitchen, Cody, and he comes up, 5-10 minutes later, and name, contact, address, and he's like, here you go. And it started out as 2 loads of hay and ended up with 8 trucks, 8 trailers, and a lot of people.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. I mean, you almost had a convoy going down there. I mean,
yeah.
You guys put this, when did you guys start the planning, or when did the idea really originate?
We talked about it. It was Friday, this past Friday. We kind of, I mentioned it to Kevin, and it wasn't until Saturday morning after breakfast when we were having the conversation, and our son just went online and he's like, here it is, and we kind of looked at each other, and before we knew it, we were going.
So put that in perspective for a second. So you had the idea Friday night. Saturday morning, you put a post out on social media that you were looking to do this, and you guys left Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning. Did we put the post on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, after we had the contact, because they texted my son back with a list of supplies that they desperately needed. So that was why I decided to put a post on Facebook if anybody was willing to donate anything to go down there. We just assumed it would maybe be a few things we could throw in the back of our 2 pickup trucks that we were originally going to take, and before we knew it, we had people calling and messaging on Facebook, and it went crazy. So.
And what were some of those items that they were asking for? Besides the hay, obviously we've seen the big pictures of the round bales, but you guys had a lot of stuff that was loaded in some of those trailers and then even in those boxes of those trucks. What were some of those items?
Oh, we had paper towels, buckets, shovels, mops, shampoo, just your everyday things, baby formula, baby diapers, just people gave so much. They lost everything, so they're in desperate need, and just unreal.
Yeah, and then we got a call from Auburndale FFA, and then they wanted to help out, and then we started looking at each other like, we might want to go to Plan B, and then we went to Plan C and D.
Plan C and so on.
Yeah.
So you talk about all these calls coming in. And one thing that, as I'm hearing you say this, okay, logistically speaking, people are wanting to get involved with it. They're wanting to contribute. Did you have did you find that you had to organize yourself to where you to coordinate, where you would collect supplies?
Yes. At one point, we were just so overwhelmed. And then we just kind of decided that we had to take our business trailer, because we kept more and more and more, to try to keep everything organized. And then it was mostly our kids' friends who came forward. We'll go with, we'll help you, we'll drive. And we wanted to make sure we had 2 people in each vehicle to take turns driving. And it was amazing.
And I imagine you're so thankful for everybody that was coming forward with different donations and different supplies that they were giving you. But obviously, as you were collecting those items, you needed more resources. You needed more people, as you mentioned, more trucks, more trailers, and then your cost to go down there. I mean, to take a truck and a trailer, I don't know how many miles it is, but there and back, it gets pretty excessive in cost. How did you start to mitigate some of those resource needs?
Well, Weiler's on the north end, Trisha, and Wayne and Kelly, they threw in right away. It's like, hey, here's a donation spot. You need stuff dropped off. Here you go. I think we kind of threw Hillers in. I don't, I think they got tossed into it, so I apologize to Phil, but there again, Hillers has always been great to the community, so that was another drop-off point, and it was kind of a shoot from the hip, on the fly. I mean, as we, started running out of room, okay, we ran out of room in this trailer, well, then we made another call and got another truck and another trailer, and before you know it, here's where we were. The last truck and trailer was Tuesday. I think the last truck was Tuesday afternoon. I think we called them about 3:00.
Yeah.
And said, hey, we need you to drive if you can yet. And then, they came and, and it's thanking the employers that let all the people I went with off, so they could go with, I mean.
Yeah, and a rather short notice. I mean, like you said, you had the idea on Saturday. You left Wednesday morning. You loaded that last truck up on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
When you loaded that last truck up, what was the fleet looking like, the convoy? How many trucks did you have, and how many people were about to make that journey?
We had 8 trucks, 15 people. So on a good note, we didn't have time to think too much about it. We just thought, okay, we need tire patch kit, generator, air compressor. And we've been through similar situations before, so we had a rough game plan,
And I think you bring up a really good point. You have to think about your own travel necessities. You mentioned that tire patch. I mean, you essentially had 8 trucks. I gotta imagine 8 trucks times probably 10 wheels per truck with the trailer and everything.
A lot of the trailers were dual axle dually, so yeah, you're talking 2, 4, 8 tires just per trailer, and yeah, it was a lot. I mean, trying to get enough spare tires and jacks and bottle jacks, and
And did you run into any instances with your travels on the way there and back that you had to address? And how was your communication between the trucks? Did you guys have a route already kind of pre-designated, or was this kind of whatever made the most sense?
It's all by the hip. There was no. I mean, we had organization in the sense of we had 2-way radios from my truck in the lead and the last truck and back. Okay, so when I went to make a turn, then I could let them know what was coming up, and everybody once. On the way down there and back, once everybody understood what was going on, on the interstate and that, people would move over. They got the idea of, hey, this is a little convoy coming through and they all need to stick together. And the closer we got to Nebraska, the more room we got. Okay, I mean, we come on an interstate and all of a sudden there'd be people a mile back. You could see them already swinging over because it looked like they were paying attention and saying, hey, look what's coming. So, I'd pull on the interstate first and I'd maintain my speed about 30. And then everybody else would follow on, and then when everybody got in line, then I would talk with the last guy, Bob, and he was my radio man in back, and then once that was good, then I would pick up speed again.
So you mentioned you left Wednesday morning. What time did you guys leave Marshfield at?
We pulled into Weilers at 4:30 a.m. to fuel up the trucks.
And what time did you arrive in Nebraska?
5:30.
5:30. We had one truck that decided to act up a little bit, but we got through it. That's all that mattered. And you can't run that far without some issue.
And that was the part that probably amazed me most. I knew that you guys were leaving because we reached out to you before you left. And,
yep.
And I knew you guys were leaving. And then as I saw you make your journey, I saw people after people posting videos and pictures that they're seeing this truck convoy make its way to Nebraska. You guys were in that convoy. So maybe you didn't get to see some of those pictures and videos, but some of them have reached millions of people.
Yeah.
What was the experience like as you passed people, or you moved through different cities, or you stopped for fuel along the way, or to take bathroom breaks? Were people asking you guys a lot of questions?
They were. I mean, the one stop, this guy, his brother lost everything. So he told one of our guys, hey, let him know, thank you, and you try to pass that along. I mean, it was... And I call them all kids, okay? So that's just what I do. But, the kids got to see a lot of stuff. My job was basically, I felt like Dale Jr. at Talladega. I was looking out of my mirrors the whole time. That's all I would worry. My concern was the 7 trucks behind me. And that's all I cared about. On a good note, I wasn't on my phone for like 26 hours. It was awesome, So, but, and that was the big concern. Was everybody in line? Did anybody have issues? And the group we took with was a good group, so that helped a lot.
And everybody had a co-pilot, so the co-pilot was that we were calling back and forth, on the phones, everything okay? Anybody need to stop? It was scary stopping on the interstate with eight of us long, when we had issues, but we made it.
We made it. That's all that matters. You got 15 people. Gary, he had no, we were 16. Yeah, we had 16 total. Yeah. So, and it was just 16 people with 16 different bathroom breaks and thirsty and hungry and so it's but yeah, the communication was there. That helped.
So obviously you left Marshfield and you're used to seeing this foreground every single day. And as you made your way to Nebraska, I mean, there's got to be an element of excitement as you're making this journey, but then there's also that element of reality. As you got closer to Nebraska and got closer to where your destination was, did you start to see some of that devastation, and what did that look like and how did that impact you?
We really didn't see that. Where we dropped was a point that was on the edge of it, okay? And when we unloaded, when we left, then they took us around so we could see a couple miles of the back area, and all we seen was a tip of the devastation, because my understanding is some of these towns you still can't get to. Their roads are washed out, and the pictures of the Chinook helicopters dropping the hay bales, so we didn't get in that far because that's beyond what a truck and a trailer can go anyway.
Absolutely.
So, but what we got to see was enough for the kids to understand why you got to do this. Why you got to, give what you can when you can.
Absolutely. So you guys made it successfully there. How was unloading everything? Was there equipment and materials there to help you? Did you guys have to do a lot of that by hand?
I'm always looking to see if she wants to speak.
Well, she started this saying that you were going to do most of the talking.
Yeah, I know. When we got there, on the way down, we were in contact with them. And they were, as we got closer, they were trying to look, okay, how many people do we need to get, you think? I said, we got 16 people. We don't need no help. You guys got enough going on. And when we got there, they were organized. And there again, you got to remember, this is a group of people that also just decided they're going to help out. So it's not like they have funding or backing or anything like that either. This ranch where they're at, where we unloaded, this guy was nice enough to let him use a storage shed and his facilities, but he's still trying to run a business. And I should say he or she, I don't know. We never got to meet the owners, but so they're giving up a building so they can help, and they're still trying to run a business. And then these volunteers are here who still have to work every day and still try to help out their community. So it's just a bunch of us trying to help each other out. I mean, when we got there, awesome people. When we got there, they whatever we needed. We unstrapped everything, unloaded, did as much as we could, because it was simple for us. We drop off and leave. Now they got to still figure out what to do, how to get it all to people, stuff like that. So.
And it was cool because they were excited. They were calling us, how far out are you guys? How far out? And when we got to the top of the hill on the exit, they actually blocked the road off, and some of the volunteer fire department was there so we could all come in together. And it was just an experience. It was really neat. They were as excited as we were.
And we're looking at the team right here that was that made that travel down by you guys turned around and came right home.
Yep.
And you went straight through?
Yeah, 26 hours. 26
hours. So you arrived back home. If you left on Wednesday at 4 a.m., 4:30 from Weilers, you arrived back home, 6 a.m.?
6:30, we pulled back into Weilers to fill the trucks back up.
And at that time, there's a lot of people that had seen what you have done. And I imagine at that time you were probably pretty tired. What has the last 24 hours been like for you? And those that are watching even today that might want to, give, is there still others out there that are doing things similar to what you're doing?
There are others out there, but just like anything, watch what you do. I mean, every group, there's a lot of scams out there. Try not to give money unless you know exactly where that money's going. I mean, or if you can hand it to somebody that you trust. I mean, there's so many scams, they said, on Facebook for GoFundMes and stuff like that. And even with the hay, I mean, we double checked. Thank God, a neighbor of ours only 3 miles away, Steve Close, he went down there. So we had a point of contact that was trusted. Because there again, there's people out there that are doing the same thing, collecting hay, and then they're turning around and selling it. So just watch what you do, because everybody, there's a lot of scams out there.
And I know there's a lot of people from central Wisconsin and all through the Midwest are thankful that you guys put this together. But you have a lot of people that you're thankful for.
A lot.
And I know from the conversation that we had earlier that you wanted to reach out to the individuals that were able to help you make this amazing journey.
Yeah. We're the smallest part of this. We're just husband and wife talking, wanted to do something. I mean, it's everybody on this list that made this all possible. I mean, we were just trying to fly under the radar and donate some hay and come home. So,
well, we're going to take a moment and we're going to go through that list so you guys can hear firsthand the individuals that contributed to this trip, as the Schmidtkes organized a convoy of 8 trucks to make their way to Nebraska to support those that are in need after some major snowstorms and some flooding that has devastated their area. Kevin, why don't we go through the list and
Okay.
give those names?
So any names I screw up, I apologize. I'm going to read it fast because there's a lot. So, okay, Wayne and Kelly Weiler, Tricia Meyer from Weiler's, the North End and Weiler's Convenience Store, Hiller's True Value, Auburndale FFA, Mark Knoyer, Steve Close, Marshall Co-op Farm Store, Jim and Mary Chakos, Judy Metcalf, Kathy Butke, Linda Schmidtke, the Hoyt family, Deb Foles, Teresa Weiler, Brian Hofferman and family, Bill and Lynn Buman, Kara McManus, C21 Team Community, Todd Bassman, Jamie Schmidt, Normie Lane Farms, Adam Borkart, Trevor Hyman, Pam Monlock, OnFocus, News Channel 7, Gross Motors, Ryan and Tammy Hogue, Doug and Dawn Eade, Jim and Carol Storner, Peyton Richardson, Daryl and Cheryl Cordes, Dan Carrardi, Carnation Conan, Justin Joyner, Kenzie Free, Courtney Murphy, Zach Sternweiss, Jenna Pankratz, Rail Transport, Nelson Jameson, Leah Zahn, Bernard and Rita Martin, Andy and Kate Cole, Carla and Mark Miller, Andrea and Luke Krantz, Jody Lovestad, Calvin and Kim Hyman, Nasonville Dairy, Dan Shalar, Stratford FFA, Workus Family, Bowman Family Farm, Mike Schmidt, Bart and Deb Surway, Larry and Jean Mueller, Kathy Helmsley, Duffy Gable, Michael Martin, Carissa Schmidtke, Marshall Area Pet Shelter, Patty Swenson, Dental Clinic, Jesse and Nikki Seehafer family, Stephanie Armstrong, John and Vicky Helms, Stephen Nestor Miller, Tony Shaw, Gary Stry and his wife, Bonafide Towing. We got the people that drop stuff off at Weiler's and Hiller's that we don't even know about. The people that did the cash donations. And then I want to go through what we basically took down there was personal goods, fence posts, 3 tons of feed, 300 small squares, 60 round bales. And you also want to thank Hewitt Area Fire Department because we had training on Monday night and I bailed after training, so everybody had to clean up and I had to go home and keep working on this. And all the businesses that let the people that went with us take off so they could go with us. I want to thank Chance Ridge, where we took the stuff. That's Nick, Shannon, and Autumn. They're awesome people down there. Whoever owns Chance Ridge, I want to thank them for letting these guys set it up. People on the highway and the interstate. Nebraska for being so gracious to us when we come there. And I want to thank our drivers, crew that make it possible. Of course, you got me and my wife, Mike and Christy Hughes, Abby, their daughter, Gary Bowman, Cody Schmidtke, Carissa Schmidtke, Michael Martin, Bob Favor, Justin Joyner, Colton Worrell, Zach Sternweiss, Nick Rogers, and Robert Scott. For the people that we missed, I greatly apologize. We tried to go through this list a couple times and thank, it was all them people that made this happen. We were just small individuals that got it started. So,
well, and it's an idea. And I think a lot of us can reflect from time to time that as we see some of this stuff out there, if it be on social media, on the news, and we think, I wish we could help. And your idea sparked really a whole campaign and a gathering of individuals in this community and beyond, that it wasn't the two of you. It became really hundreds of people put a lot of effort into this and organized something in a rather short amount of time that I'm sure is going to benefit quite a few people. So from everyone on that list and those that are being a beneficiary of the efforts that were put in, we thank you, and we're very grateful to be able to follow your story and help you guys get the word out there. And I congratulate you guys on bringing what you did to Nebraska. Anything else you want to say or comment about this journey, or just the reflection now that you've gotten a little sleep and been able to look back at really the last 6 days and how it's all raced through and come together?
It's a good feeling. We were able to have a lot of laughs on the way down there. Of course, our kids' friends are crazy.
Were they on spring break?
No, they're all older, have jobs. There was a lot of emotions. It was, I don't want to say it was stressful, but we didn't know what to expect when we got there. The excitement that they had at Chance Ridge when we got there is the appreciation. Before we even pulled in and unloaded, we were getting hugs. It was just something we never expected. And then they took us out and toured some of the damaged area. It was really, really, really sad. There were houses that were ripped in half, and and one half would be almost broken off into the river. It was hard driving. I videoed some of it, and I couldn't do it anymore because I got so choked up. These people are in desperate need.
We saw a hashtag or a saying, Nebraska or bust. How did that come into the picture?
Trisha?
Yeah. It's, you just send it, you make it happen. And if, like I said, if you try to line something like this up, then you start thinking how prepared you got to be. We went for it. They needed it. Let's get it there. And if something broke along the way, we got a lot of empty trailers on the way back to pick up the pieces. So.
Well, there you guys have it. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for watching OnFocus. I'm Brandon Bonhoeffer, and we'll continue to follow the stories that matter most to our community. We're going to thank the Schmidtkes and everyone that we read off for being a part of bringing some relief to Nebraska. I'm Brandon Bonhoeffer, and stay tuned until next time.